Hi, my magical creatures, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be dating younger guys versus dating older guys. I am going to talk about my experience, what to expect when dating the two age different gap men. So before we begin, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, a like, and don't forget to subscribe. It's a free way to help your girl out. So let's get started. Okay. So basically dating younger guys versus older guys. So I have my notes like right here. So we're going to start off with the younger guys. When dating younger guys, this is kind of like my experience. Also like telling them too I'm trans and everything like that. So I want to say like number one when it comes to dating younger guys is money. A lot of younger guys tend to not have a lot of money. I'm just saying majority of them because a lot of them are still like young. They're still figuring things out. They just all about getting girls and, you know, just playing around. And, you know, younger guys, they're not really, they ain't all there, if you know what I'm saying. So tip number two, like with guys, is like a lot of them are curious, like especially if you tell them like you're transgender and stuff like that. A lot of young guys won't mess with trans women unless like a lot of them are curious and stuff like that, and a lot of them just want to mess around with a T-girl, okay? Although there are some that will definitely consider dating you and stuff like that, but I'm just saying my experiences is they just want to F, okay? And that's kind of been my experience with that. Tip number three is that they're still figuring their life out. So I want to say, like, if you're trying to settle with a young guy, it's gonna be really. I think it's kind of hard to find a young guy to settle down with because a lot of them are still figuring their life out, and a lot of them don't even want to be in relationships. And I've noticed to a lot of young guys, they tend to be in relationships with cis women, and once they get out of a relationship with them, a lot of them be telling me, like, I get all like the I want to say the hand-me-down guys, the young guys, they be like, oh, I just got out of a relationship with my ex, like I don't want to be in no relationship, I'm just trying to have fun, you know, stuff like that. And I don't know if it's because I'm trans or whatever, and like you're just treating me different because I'm not born a biological woman. But basically, yeah, you will get a lot of those young type of guys. A lot of them will be out of committed relationships, and then a lot of them be saying, oh, I'm just trying to have fun. I've noticed I've been getting a lot of those. So I'm just like, So, well, I'm not. I said, yeah, I'm down to have fun. If you're trying to take me out to eat, trying to wine and dine me, trying to make me feel special and stuff like that, yeah, I'm down. But I ain't doing nothing more. So, yeah. Tip number five, a lot of them aren't old school. So, you know that old saying like chivalry is dead or whatever. So chivalry, what that is basically, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but I think it's called chivalry. Chivalry is basically when men, you know, back old school guys, like they tend to be gentlemen, like opening the door for you, for women, you know, taking women on dates, trying to court them, meet their parents, you know, stuff like that. Really nowadays you really don't see that anymore. Yeah, like you really don't. A lot of these young guys, they just trying to F. Like a lot of these guys, they don't even really be paying for women's stuff anymore. It's usually like the older men you see them paying, you know, for the women and stuff like that. So yeah, when dating a young guy, like dating a young guy is cool and all. Like you got the looks, um, they got muscles, the looks, they're young, you know, they're good looking, but a lot of them ain't really rolling in the dough. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them are very immature. They don't have money like that. Um, and a lot of them too, like they don't really be trying to like take women out on dates and stuff. Although there are some that will take, like I've had a couple young guys take me on dates and stuff like that, but I don't really know. I wasn't really too much feeling them, so yeah. But I'm just saying a majority of the young guys, I don't really be doing old school stuff like, you know, taking women out and stuff like that. Yeah, so I want to say the next tip is that they have options. So when dating a young guy, young guys, they have options, okay? Especially if you're a trans girl and you're trying to date a young guy, they got options. They really do, unless you got some young guy that is just something's wrong with him or something. But they got options. They're probably most likely talking to other women. That's just how young guys are. They don't. They always got some type of side chick or something on the side. So just be aware of that. Versus older men, they don't play games at all. Like if they tell you they want you, I would definitely trust and believe that. And usually a lot of them will be honest and tell you up front if there's another woman involved. So, stuff like that. And they'll tell you what it is. Young guys, they be like to playing games. They play too many games, if you ask me. And they definitely have options. And they probably got their other side chick, side hoes, or whatever. So, yeah. And then the next tip I was going to say is that they play games. A lot of young guys, they sit here, play games. They be trying to tell you what you want to hear, stuff like that, so they can sleep with you. And I'm not saying all of them are like that, but just be careful because a lot of them are like that. Stuff like that. So just be aware, just be careful. I want to say like the benefits of dating a young guy is that they're young, like they're good looking, muscles, youthful, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But I mean, okay, so now we're gonna talk about older men. Like I'm gonna talk about like my experiences dating them and most likely your experience when dating older men. So I want to say older men, they tend to be more attractive. So as men get older and stuff, like their shoulders tend to get more broad. They tend to get more facial hair in places, muscles. Yeah, like I don't know. They just tend to be. I don't know. I think older men are more attractive, if you ask me. So, okay. The next tip is that most older men, they have money. So they basically, I want to say like older men, like they have money to spend, they have their finances together, stuff like that. I'm not saying there's some older men that aren't like that, but most of them, they have money, the moolah. So yeah. The next tip is that they play no games and they know what they want. Okay. I've had older men plenty of times tell me like, you know what I want. A lot of them don't. When they say stuff, they actually mean it. Like they're older. Like they're not trying to waste their time. They've already done the dating. They've already done, all of that. Like they just want company and they just want somebody in their life. And if they don't want you to be their girlfriend or whatever, they will tell you straight up, like, look, I think you're a beautiful girl and all, but like, I just, I like my privacy. I just think I'm not really ready to have a girlfriend. Like I'm still getting over my ex-wife or my ex-girlfriend, whatever it is, stuff like that. So yeah, that's why I like older men, because they're just upfront about it. Like they'll tell you what they want, stuff like that, and they got money. So yeah. So the next step is baby mama drama. Kids probably your age. Oh my God. So a lot of older men and stuff, they tend to have already done they've been married. They probably have a kid, they have a baby. A lot of them also too, like have baby mama drama. So like I remember dating this one guy, this one older man, and he basically he was still like, I didn't find out till like, I want to say like it just didn't even work out anymore. Like he was still technically married. He was still technically married, but they were separated. Like she lived in a whole state, everything like that. But he had kids by her and stuff like that. And like, even though they were separated and stuff, they were still married and everything. But they weren't even together. Like they lived two separate lives, stuff like that. So I don't want y'all talking about some, ooh, she was with a married man. No, I was not. Well, not really, no. Like they weren't together. They were separated. They still had to sign the divorce papers. I don't know. But like I only stayed with him for like a week, and not only that, like we didn't even meet up or anything. So but my thing is, it's super annoying because you have to you know, there's kids involved. And then depending on how old the man is, like, them kids are probably your age, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it's just not cute. And honestly, I'm not about to fight with no one's baby mama. Like, I'm just not. I'm not gonna fight with the baby mama. I'm not gonna fight for the ex. I'm definitely not gonna fight for his attention with them kids either. So, you know, I don't know. But that's just me. So the next tip for dating an older man is they're very old school. I definitely like that. Like, I've gone on dates with older men and like they've opened my car door. They, you know, make me feel safe. Um, they they're just very, I don't know, like they just know how to treat a lady. You know, like they just take you out to dinner, you know. Yeah, they may be a little bit older, whatever, but like, hey, like at least they know how to treat you. Um, you know, stuff like that. The next tip I want to say is that they're super masculine. I want to say older men. A lot of older men, like for me, like a lot of them, like they know how to fix cars, or they're very like handymen, or they have tend to have like their own like, you know, tools and stuff in their house. Like I love a man that has like all the tools in the world, you know, stuff like that. I mean, I got some screwdrivers, but like I don't have like wrenches and an electric drill and stuff like that. But I know like a lot of older men, they have like a whole bunch of tools in their garage or stuff. I don't know. I love when a man has like all the tools and they know how to fix stuff and you know stuff like that. And a lot of older men, they're very old school. They do that. So you know, stuff like that. Even when they age too, I don't know. I just feel like they're just the manly they get, you know, the more manlier. I don't know, but that's just what I've noticed. So the next tip too is that they're very knowledgeable and learn stuff from them. So I remember dating this one older man, and he's just been around the world. He's definitely had a lot more life experience than I did. And, you know, I stayed with him because I learned a lot from him. You know, like growing up, I didn't have a dad. So dating him, it was just kind of like I wouldn't recommend, if you have daddy issues, I would not recommend dating an older man. I just wouldn't, because it just gets weird and confusing and stuff like that. But I did date this one older man, and like it was definitely giving like daddy issues. Like, I don't know, like those times where he acted like my dad, and then like I don't really know. It's just weird. I can't even explain the relationship, but like I don't know, because he was an older man, I learned a lot from him, and like he just taught me like a lot about like saving money and you know, life experiences and how to do stuff, like life skills and stuff like that. Like he taught me some stuff. But I mean, those times too where he was like, you don't need to wear all that makeup, mija. Like, you don't need to do all that. Why are you dressed like that? Like, I was over here. I was like, first of all, are you my daddy or are you my man? So I'm a mess. Oh my God. I hope you guys don't see me in a different light. But yeah, but I'm just saying, like, definitely, but they are knowledgeable and you do learn a lot from like older men and stuff. So. Um, the next tip too is like dating older men is that they're super mature. Like older men, they, you know, especially when you come out to them like as trans and stuff like that, a lot of them end up being like okay with it because they're older, they've already dated cis women and stuff like that. Probably even have kids by them and stuff like that. So a lot of older men, they're willing to try something new, you know what I mean? Um And not only that, like, I know that they're older too, so like they're not gonna, most likely they're not gonna get like a young, pretty cis woman. Like, so a lot of like older men, like they just tend to just, especially if they like you and stuff, they're gonna go for it. You know, they tend to be more open and stuff like that. Not all of them, but most of them for sure. Um, yeah, a lot of older men, they are very understanding. And I've noticed too, like a lot of men like in their 30s, like I've noticed that's usually like they end up being like okay with that, you know, like most of them. Like 30, 32, like they tend to be like open to you being trans and stuff, and they're willing to give it a shot. So we'll see. I'm only 27, so if I want to date a guy my age, I'm gonna have to wait a few years. Oh well, I don't really care, to be honest. I'm like whatever. So, but definitely these are like my tips. Like these are kind of like my experiences dating the two. Um, honestly, like it just depends on like what you're looking for. Depends on what you're comfortable with, you know, stuff like that. So, yeah. But I hope you guys love this video. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, a like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Stay magical. Mwah.